feel like I've come to the conclusion that life as a human is challenging. It's a struggle in the way that we're always being tested and lessons are always being learned. So, one of the things I learned that I want to share with you that I really feel helped my journey become much more simple. Abundance is having what you need when you need it. Something you may know about me is I'm very interested about other cultures. It helps me understand the human experience a little bit more deeply. And something I watched recently was a fisherman. He was fishing out of a very intense river, and he was using very ancient fishing techniques. And he was very abundant in the way that he could catch about 5 to 12 fish every day, and these fish were pretty large. I was really happy for him to see his bounty, because I've seen in other videos fishermen are pulling out the tiniest of fish, if anything. And long story short, this man goes into prayer and goes into a temple and asks for forgiveness for taking the lives of these beings. Him and his wife seemed very, very, worried. They were very careful not to overstep their boundary on their sacred land, and they were wanting to tithe and offer an equal exchange of energy. Now, one thing I noticed was how humble their spirits were as they came to temple, and how thankful they were to receive what they were given. And that was the key that I was realizing. It's all in our perception. So that moment, I thought to myself and asked my own spirit, how do you feel about this man taking the fish out of this river? And the message that my spirit, my highest self, gave was, he eats of my fish. And that is God saying, those are my fish, this is my land, these are my people. It's all in the way that we perceive. It's all in the way that we contribute gratitude. On the contrary, and I want to give you some contrast for what I'm trying to explain, was a couple approached me when I was standing at the end of a trailhead. I was trying to get reception, and they were driving by, and they asked me why other cars were parked around me. And I explained to them that there was a pool, and they had other questions for me, but one of their questions was, how far was the water? And I said, well, it's about 3/4 of a mile, and you're going to be walking through very deep snow, 3 to 4 feet of snow. And they looked at me and they just said, bah, and they kind of drove off. And I thought to myself, they don't get to partake in God's sacred waters. They don't do the work, and they don't honor it, and they don't have gratitude. So they don't get to see the benefits and the healing and the abundance and the goodness. And that's okay, because that's their choice. See, a lot of people don't want to do the work, and they don't have the capacity to have gratitude for what it takes to partake in the highest. So what we must do is get to a point where we're present with our experience, where we're gracious enough to allow the abundance to be given to us so that we can continue to experience it. It will unfold and manifest. It will become bountiful over time. It will compound with our gratitude. But we have to see it.